Welcome in, everybody. Happy Sunday. Oops, Michelle, I invited you and you're already in here. Sorry, guys, I'm still sending out invites, so if you're already in here, just ignore me. Hi, Calindia, or Cyndia, nice to meet you. Welcome to the porch. Dennis, thank you for the floating heart. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Anna. Hi, Shorty. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Holly. Hi, James. Hi, Laura. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Desiree. I'm so sorry you had a bad day at work. Welcome in, everybody. Oh my God. Hi, Mama Bear. I miss you. Hi, Love Bug. I miss you so much. I know, Jamie, you're early. I'm so proud of you. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Sam. Hi, Dub. Where you been? I miss you. Happy Sunday, everybody. Lily, I haven't checked my emails yet. We're going to bed soon, Jamie. Hi, Cookie. Hi, Rachie. Welcome in, everybody. Feel free to hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. There is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs and helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. I know, Dub. I mean in here. I meant long time no see in here. It helps us grow a beautiful porch. So thank you to everybody reposting, and thank you for sharing in your stories, and thank you for sharing with your friends and tapping. Yes, Jamie, I understand. Also, everybody, feel free to start writing your story requests in all capital letters in the chat, and I will write them down, and then we can vote on the first story. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Lady Rose. Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Oh, Leslie, thanks for the poetry book. You little cutie. I love that book. Thank you, April. I appreciate you. Also, don't forget, I forgot, but if you're writing a request, please also write a funny suggestion for a silly story title with your requests. Thank you. Oh, really? Melody? No, I didn't, but I changed the position of it. I changed the way, like how I have it set up. So good to know that it sounds better. Thank you, Leslie. An alt title to the story that you're requesting. Because I had a hard time coming up with good ones last night. Leslie. Okay, you guys, the title of the story is supposed to be something that's kind of like, you can't tell what it is. You guys are all just putting the title in the title. Cassie, I love, who even are you? Sam, I haven't had a chance to yet, but I'm going to after my live. I can't wait. I'm surprised it's clear. It's always like, I feel like it's always like raining or cloudy. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that so much. Lady Rose, those are good. That's okay, Michelle. Ooh, it's storming, Cynthia. Ooh. Mama Bear, thanks for the galaxy. You've been so missed. We're so glad you're back. Hi, Jess. Dorm, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Welcome in, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you'll find me. I also have all of the links in my bio. Kyle, I'm sorry to hear your toothache sucks. That really sucks. I hate toothaches. All right, you guys, I will take your requests and set up the first poll for us to vote, and I'll be right back. And if you guys could repost while I'm setting up the first poll, it's much appreciated. Share it out. I'll be right back. Happy Sunday. Okay, you guys, the first poll is ready. We have, and don't forget, it is Silly Story Title Sunday. So on Saturdays and Sundays, I do... God almighty, what are you talking about? Is that like supposed to be impressive? Who cares? Like, good for you. Anyway, it is Silly Story Title Sunday. We do it on Saturday and Sunday, and we basically take the funny titles of the stories that you request and try to see if you guys can figure out what they are, and then we vote for them that way. And sometimes it's fun because stories that don't always win get... Wait, are you over there too, Mama Bear on YT? Because that's who I'm talking to. Hi, Mary. Anyway, you get the drift. So the stories are The Queen and... Hi, Crunchy Cookie. Welcome back, cutie. I'm glad you're here. You made it just in time for the poll, too. Okay, we have The Queen Enforcer. We have She's a Hugger. We have Who Even Are You? We have I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost. And we have Boogers and Permits. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. There is a blue box. You can vote up to 50 times. And you can vote for more than one story. Who's it gonna be? The Queen Enforcer? She's a Hugger? Who Even Are You? I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost? Or Boogers and Permits? Oh, you are, April? Yeah. Did you see what I was talking about then? I'm like, and who cares? Do you want a cookie? Thank you, Dennis. You're so sweet. Those are so cute over here. Thank you so much. Thanks, Holly. Who Even Are You is in the lead. Popular title. Good job, girl. Mr. World NYC. Sometimes I have a couple stories on my YT channel where I did add rain sound effects in with a story. But no, overall I don't use rain sound because most of my stories don't take place in the rain and they are immersive stories, so I feel like it would be kind of weird. But I do like the sound of rain. All right, and the winner is Who Even Are You? And thank you, Dennis. That's so cute. Hi, Basuber. Welcome in. Me too, Tracy. Thunderstorm sounds are so nice. I love them. But I don't really go with my stories because my stories have moments of like high suspense and action and then moments of like calmer, you know what I mean? So like the music I have is specifically designed to go at the pace of my cadence. And that's why I restart the music when I start the story, is because I actually have the lines timed to where they hit at the right parts of the music. So rain would kind of really ruin that effect. because I don't know if I don't really think people notice it that much, but it really adds to the flow of the story. It helps quite a bit. The music helps just at the right spots. Kenny, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Lauren, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. I have a best friend from high school named Lauren. Oh, Jasmine. Okay, I'll add that. I'll add that to the list. Okay, guys, the winner is Who Even Are You? Oh, thank you, Dennis. Who Even Are You? Oh, thanks, Tank Girl, yeah. So, yes, it's the theremin. That's my favorite part. I had to make sure that there was theremin involved. But my Banshee and Pissed Off Ghost Lady song doesn't have theremin. This one. Her voice is like the theremin. But this is the one that goes with Selkies, Banshees, all that stuff. I have 3 songs that are licensed, so these 2 I've used regularly. I have 1 more, but it's not good for lives. Like, it's only good for like a random video, but I can't really pace it with lives. I thought I could, but it's not. It's a little too dramatic. It's more like a movie. It's not that great. Me too, Lonnie. Me too. Thank you. I wish Megs would come in because I wrote down the name of the thing and that she wants to know. So if anybody sees Megs, let me know. Or feel free to invite her. All right, guys, I'll be right back. The Who Even Are You is The Tale of the Masked Visitor. Oh, that's cute, Dennis. I like that star. The Tale of the Masked Visitor. And if you're new here, welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all of these stories myself, so they are original content. And you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. I also have all of the links in my bio. Thanks, Dennis. That's funny. That's cute. Hi, Angela. Also, thank you if you feel the need to do me a little favor and hit that share arrow in the bottom right hand corner. There is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch with cool people instead of trolls. You know what else helps stop trolls? Keywords. So thank you to the porch pals who write stuff like Holly just did right here. Just keywords every once in a while throughout the night, especially if we get off track and we start talking about the random stuff we talk about regularly. This helps the algorithm figure out what this live is about instead of sending us out random places, and that's when trolls come in. We have tested this out a million times, and as you guys noticed the other night, as soon as we started talking about roast beef curtains, what happened? We got 3 trolls that came in and talked shit to me and messed up the whole live. So, we're allowed to talk about whatever we want in here, but stuff like what Holly just wrote counteracts what we talk about. Does that make sense? So that when the AI is scanning, it doesn't just see 75 comments about inappropriate stuff. It sees these squeezed in between, and it can figure out what the live is about. Does that make sense? So just reminding everybody, this is way more helpful than you realize. And I like it when, like, Deborah is the queen of the funny ones. And yes, Hollywood. That's why sometimes I have to try to like nip it in the bud and be like, guys, stop talking about that. But I try not to, because I love freedom of speech and I love joking around about silly shit and inappropriate stuff. Like, I don't care at all. I'm not, I have a sense of humor and I'm not offended by much. So it's more just the algorithm. It scans the chat every 10 minutes and then it sends me a summary of what it's categorizing us as. And it is always wrong. But once we started doing this, it was right. And we started getting really cool people. And one night I got 400 new porch pals because everybody in the chat was doing it. And it was obviously sending it out to the right people because people were following and they were loving it. And so it really makes a difference when the AI scans and it knows what we're talking about. So we're allowed to talk about whatever the hell we want in here. I do not want you guys to feel like you're censored or you can't talk about roast beef curtains or ball sack tents. But if we're going to do that, just if you see it happening in the chat, feel free to step in and just start writing stuff like Mothman, supernatural, paranormal, goat man, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, storyteller, ASMR, anything like that. Are you afraid of the dark? Goosebumps. Any of that helps so much. So I just wanted to explain that because I think a lot of the newer people don't know why we do that. And it helps immensely. And we've tested it out like numerous times. And no trolls come in the nights we regularly heavily do it. And the nights that the convo gets off track, we always get trolls and it sucks. So yeah, that's also why I give my speech in between every few, like I say, I tell spooky bedtime stories because the algorithm hears me saying that and it can categorize us. So it's what we have to do. It's annoying, but eventually, hopefully, we could move on over to one of the other places that isn't so fucking strict and run by AI. But for the time being, Lonnie, that's a good one. See, I like when I'll pin the funniest ones you guys write. Witches work with deer women to help the Fresno nightcrawlers find their way to their cave. That's so cute. So yeah, you guys you don't have to just write it as words. You can write it as cute sentences like Lonnie did, or like booger, bog, balls, and haint taint. That's a good one, trucker man. He's like, I'll mix it up and really confuse. Anyway, I just wanted to explain to you guys a little bit about how it works because it does scan the chat every 10 minutes. And like, man, sometimes the shit it's saying that the live is about is just so off. It's crazy. Like one time it was like when Holly came in here and was talking about her colon, it was like people share colonoscopy stories. And I was like, great. Fucking great. Who are we gonna get in here for that? Perfect. Yeah. So, but I try to let people say what they want and people come in here to vent about their life and it's a safe space to do that. So these comments, like with the keywords, really help us have the freedom to say whatever the hell we want. You remember that, Michelle? Yeah. So just remember every once in a while if you can, just go, oh, maybe I should try to counteract whatever the hell we're talking about right now because it's super helpful and it's a way to outsmart them. It's a way to outsmart the robot overlords so we still have freedom of speech to talk about ball sack tents, Like, come on. The day we can't talk about ball sack tents anymore is the day we are not free. Is it funny right now, Don? People keep changing it. Oh, it is cute. Yes, hi Jerry. Hi Kim. All right, anyway, I just wanted to explain that, guys, to you. I'll be right back with the tale of the masked visitor. Oh my God, Dennis, that golden boo is so cute. And the makeup brush, these are so cute. Thanks, Dennis. Oh, thank you so much, Andrea. That's so kind. I can't wait. I hope she likes it. Also, fun fact, this is a picture of me from 3rd grade. Yeah, thanks, guys. I was so sweet and cute, right? I'm sorry you don't feel good, Wolf King. I hope you feel better. Thanks, Holly. I really appreciate that, actually. That's very sweet of you to say. Because I am an artist at heart. So thank you so much. Hey now, Terry. Calm down. Calm down with those comments. I was just like the blonde Wednesday. Oh. Terry, I thought you were just like throwing shade, just being silly. But you're right. Yes, the 700 thing. And yeah, it was like the blonde Wednesday, you know? Right, Justin? God, I wish. By the way, you guys, the story tomorrow features Beefy and Jade. And it's in a state that I have not covered yet. Because I do know I do a lot of Appalachia and stuff. And but that's because it's what I know the most. I know it the best. And it's easy for me to crank out those stories, I'll be honest, because I grew up with that shit. So that doesn't involve as much research for me to do the Appalachian folklore stories. So they are very easy to crank out in 1 week. This one, guess what? Your girl had to research the shit of it. And I just recorded it last night after the live. I just recorded it last night after the live. But it is one that I was not familiar with. It was suggested to me by Beefy. It's very creepy. And it's from a state I have never covered yet. And yes, Michelle, don't worry, all 3 of us come back. I'm not going to off a porch pal. Only my lifelong friends. Come on. I need to write Jamie into one. Jamie will not come back. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Love you, Jamie. She probably already left. Yeah, Dennis, it's different, right? It takes some getting used to. But I like it. I like it. I'm liking it. I also really like how it saves the recordings afterwards, just automatically. You know who doesn't do that? The other one. And I just think that's a really nice feature that you would think all of them would do with hours worth of content that's created on their platforms. But hey. And yes, if you're new here, welcome in. And my new stories premiere every week on Mondays, which is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do a live YT premiere and we do a live chat. You guys get a first watch of the new story of the week, and we have a lot of fun over there. It's at 7 p.m. It's usually only about 15-20 minutes long. It's not going to take up your whole evening or anything, and it's over on my YT channel tomorrow at 7 p.m. and it's a lot of fun. So come join us tomorrow. If you subscribe, and then where it says leave a comment, this confuses everyone because it's not designed well, but where it says to leave a comment, once you get to like where it says the premiere is starting soon, okay, there's a little bar underneath that's like where you leave a comment on a YT video, right? Take your thumb and go and swipe from the right over to the left, and the comment bar will all of a sudden change and say enter live chat. It's the weirdest thing. It's totally hidden and nobody can figure it out. And then people every week are leaving comments in the comment section going, hey guys, I don't see anybody else chatting. And it's because you're leaving a comment on the video instead of in the live chat. It's not designed well, but I wanted to explain that. Yep, everybody has trouble with it, Leslie. It's not just, I told Leslie, I was like, girl, it's not just you. Every week I have to go rescue people from the comment section and go, hey guys, swipe from right to left with your thumb. The line will change and it'll say enter live chat, and then you just click on it like you're going to leave a comment and it takes you into Lady Rose. It's like the mobile version, and it only happens on some model phones and I think some like versions of the app, you know what I mean, like people haven't updated or people who have updated, I'm not really sure, but it's not the best. It's not a great design. It's confused a lot of smart people, so it's something I like to bring up. Thanks, Darren, because it's not one of those things where it's not very intuitive. Yes, Florida Trucker Man. Andrea, just Porch Lore. Same thing. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. And all the links are in my bio if you can't find it, but you should be able to find it right away. All right, guys, I just wanted to explain that stuff. I'll be right back with the tale of the masked visitor. Quick swig, grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax. Kim, that happens sometimes, and sometimes if you just swipe out of the app completely and restart the app, like come back in completely, it reappears. It happens randomly. It happens to me with the add to story button a lot. It's just ridiculous. Lonnie, I think you misunderstood the story. Dear Woman doesn't save people. She's not a rescuer. She's vengeance. Oh, I forgot. We're back in that little competition thing. The thing that I never care about. Live Fest or something, right? The heart meet, the taps look different. You're right, Michelle. You're actually right. She is a protector of women. So, but more in the way that she just like, oh no, you're fine, Holly. I'm just teasing. She's folklore. But yeah, you know what? She is a protector of women, but more in the way of like, she would rescue you, Holly, if a creepy dude was hiding in the woods trying to get you. She'd stomp his face. See, Jade knows. Look, Jade just came in and look at what the first thing she said is. It's Devin in 3rd grade. See, I told you guys. Told you. Jade knows. Jade, I literally said that when I pulled up. I go, guys, fun fact, this is me in 3rd grade. And Jade remembered. But yeah, so Holly, she would save you by stomping someone. And then she'd let you jump on her back maybe and ride off into the sunset. She rescues CJ from himself by what? Stomping him? Oh, Community Fest. Thank you, Trucker Man. What did I call it? Live Fest? Yeah, I'm not really that competitive. I'm not a competitive person. I don't really care. I feel like it's just a way to like corporatize social media. It's for like, I feel like it's for the people who like need that kind of structure to like force them to go live. Do you know what I'm talking about? Which I'm not one of those people. But for certain people who like want, like the stickers on the board at school, they want little levels of things that are made up to win. Cool. I guess. Me neither, Lily. But I just feel like I don't know, like with the leagues and all that, like it just seems to me like a way of like, I don't know, it's like corporate training. I don't know. It's like, well, once you've moved up and you can move to a different team and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain what that is, but it's something, it's a vibe that I'm not about. Structure, maybe, I don't know. Competitive, pointless competitiveness, I don't know. I'm not really into it. Yeah, it's a money grab. That's exactly what it is, Chucker. Yep, it's a way to trick people into throwing all of their money at you for some made up shit to like be like, I was number 10 for nothing. And I mean, yes, I do pay my bills with the money I make here, and I really greatly appreciate y'all's gifts, but I'm not going to do money. I'm trying to build a community. I'm not just trying to grab your money and run. And I think a lot of people on here definitely are. But yeah, I'm just not competitive enough. I don't give a shit. Because I'm in the long game. I'm trying to build a community where you guys like are my family and community on any app. I'm not just trying to be like move up in the ranks of TikTok. I'm a storyteller. I'm not a TikToker. I literally used to be a national news reporter. So that stuff just doesn't interest me as much. Rogerio, I don't understand what you said. I know, like where else are you gonna hear dancer names, Justin? Oh, you're from Brazil? Hola. What do they speak in Brazil? Portuguese? Shit, I don't know Portuguese. Shit. It's supposed to be translating for me. Can anybody translate that? I don't know Portuguese. He's asking, is everything well? Okay. How do I write it back? Hold down. Oh, hola, hello. Oh, thanks. Is it Rogerio? Korea Johnny Dora. Hi. I'm going to try to, hold on. I'm going to write something in Portuguese really quick. English to Portuguese. He's asking me how are things? He said he doesn't understand. Dora. Zan Frank. He said me one story. Well, you'll get one in a minute. I'm trying Portuguese. Okay, so you guys, what did he ask me? You know what he said? No Google. Click and hold the comma in the menu pop up. Oh. Well, shit. This is fun. I want to know what he's saying. I think it's really brave to come in here and you don't speak the language and try to communicate with the host. I love that. Like, I'll try to talk to you, bro. Let's be friends. Okay. Translate. I did not understand. Okay, what's he asking? Dora. He said hi, all right. What do I say? Don't make sure he doesn't leave. Someone kidnap him. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Let's see if I can say it. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Bem-vindo à nossa hora da história relaxante.
I wonder if he knows what that means. Did he get it?
Bem-vindo à nossa hora da história relaxante.
I said, welcome to our relaxing story time. Oh, he did? Where? Hi, how are you? I use translators so you could speak with you. Your voice is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you so much. Welcome in. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
Muito obrigada. Seja bem-vindo a...
Can you hear it?
Muito obrigada. Seja bem-vindo a...
Why'd it go so slow that time? That's so cute. He's so sweet. Obrigada. Obrigada? Good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Okay.
A história começa agora.
A história começa agora. That's not bad. I know. Did you hear her? She got all slow. She was like, glee. Okay, guys. Oh, wow. That was mine. Back on mine. Turn it back down. Okay. Quick swig, and we're going back to... It was like the worst part for it to echo too. Be right back with The Tale of the Masked Visitor. That was fun, guys. Portuguese on the porch. Yes, that's what I said, Lily. You know Portuguese? How'd you know that? That's what it said. That's what I typed. I said, story start now. I go to sleep and usually leave my headphones on and listen to you and your stories. Oh my God, he already listens to me? Oh, can somebody say, "Aw, thank you so much"? Hold on. I'll do it. Oh wait, shit. I turned it down. Now it won't play the noise. Ah, obrigada. Ah, obrigada. Is that right? Muito obrigada. Obrigada. Okay. That's the best I got, guys. That's my Portuguese. All right. Oh, whoa. Now we got the loudness again. Okay. Quick swig and we'll be a masked visitor. Thanks, Lily. I tried. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society, this is the tale of the masked visitor. Thank you, Rita. Halloween had draped its shadow over Ridgemont, a town where time seemed to slow down, especially on nights like this. The streets lined with century-old oak trees whispered with the wind as the last trick-or-treaters scurried home. The Brenner house, perched on the corner, was glowing in the dim light of the pumpkin decorations on the porch. Inside, the four sisters, Lindsay, Taylor, Emily, and Sophie, had returned from their Halloween escapade, the sound of their laughter still echoing in the hallway. Sophie, the youngest, bounced with her candy bucket, her steps frantic, still caught in the energy and excitement of the evening. But while the girls buzzed around, Christina, their mother, was distracted. An unexpected work call had pulled her attention, and with a disappointed sigh, she packed her bag and explained to the girls that she had to leave for a bit, but that their Grandma Sharon would be there soon, and so would their friends for their sleepover. The mention of the sleepover perked up the girls. Kelsey and Haley, their best friends from next door, would join. And then there was Brenda. At the mention of Brenda's name, a brief silence fell. Brenda was a girl from school, someone none of the sisters particularly liked. She was uppity and could sometimes be outright mean. Christina reminded the girls to always be kind, even when others were not. Thank you, Rita. Plus, she had already promised Brenda's mother, so the decision was final. The girls sighed. Their excitement dimmed slightly, but Grandma Sharon's arrival soon restored their cheer. The girls adored her laid-back, mischievous nature. And soon, as she stepped through the doors, the house felt lighter. After a brief catch-up, Grandma Sharon sunk into the couch to enjoy a Halloween movie marathon. And the girls descended to the basement, a makeshift playroom that doubled as their spooky storytelling space. The girls were ready for a night of laughter and fright. The basement was always a source of comfort for the sisters, but now the energy felt different. Shadows danced along the walls, stirred by the soft glow of their inadequate flashlights. Lindsay, always the leader, started with a haunted house story, her voice shaky as the other girls huddled close. She embellished the tale, adding eerie details, but just as the tension peaked, the basement door creaked open and everyone froze. Standing in the doorway was Grandma Sharon. And beside her stood a girl dressed in a glittery costume with a face obscured by a mask. The room chilled as she entered. It was Brenda. She didn't speak. She didn't even greet the other girls. She just stood there, stiff and still. Her costume gave the other girls chills. Then Sharon gave the girls a gentle warning to behave and retreated back upstairs to continue her movie. An awkward silence blanketed the group. The girls tried to include Brenda, offering her candy and commenting on her costume. But she remained mute, watching them through the eyes of her mask. The unease crept in deeper, and Lindsay attempted to restart the spooky stories, but Brenda's silence hung over them like a weight. When it was Haley's turn to share a ghost story, Brenda's presence was unsettling, and each girl cast nervous glances at one another, hoping one of them would break the tension. "Hi, Kim." When Brenda finally spoke, she said that she had a really scary story. And she asked the girls if they wanted to hear it. They all excitedly agreed that now, sure, yeah, it was Brenda's turn to tell a scary story. And did she ever? "Hi, Ashley." She began to speak about a little girl who had misbehaved so badly that her parents locked her in her room and set a fire outside the door, intending to burn her alive. The girls screamed and struggled to escape, but there were bars on her windows. She squeezed through the bars, but the flames burned her as she tried to get out. The story ended abruptly, with no twist or scare, leaving the girls confused and disappointed. But Brenda wasn't done, and she suggested that they finish the story somewhere scarier, somewhere fitting for the end of her tale. The cemetery. at the end of the block. The suggestion of the cemetery sent a shiver through the group. It was an old, neglected place that none of them dared to visit after dark. But this was Halloween after all. And they were kids, and the promise of something truly spooky was too good to pass up. Brenda guided them, and sneaking out was easy. Grandma Sharon had dozed off on the couch during her movie marathon, so they were able to slip out the back unnoticed. The quiet night outside was starkly different from the warmth and safety of their home. The wind whistled through the trees, casting long shadows under the streetlights as they made their way to the cemetery. The cemetery gates creaked loudly, their echo swallowed by the vast darkness. Once they were in the cemetery, there were gravestones crumbling with age, jutted out like jagged teeth. And then Brenda led them to an empty grave. The earth was freshly dug, a gaping mouth waiting in the silence. Hi, Professor Who. The other girls paused. This was no place for games. But Brenda insisted. She pointed at Sophie, the youngest and smallest, and told her to lie down in the grave. Sophie's heart raced. She glanced at her sisters, hoping they would protest, but no one moved. The silent pressure from Brenda and the weight of the group pushed her forward, and Sophie climbed into the grave, laying down on the cold earth. She looked up at the starless sky, her breath trembling in the crisp air. Back at the Brenner house, Sharon had been startled awake by the ringing of the phone. It was Mrs. Lillard, Brenda's mother, apologizing for her daughter's absence this evening. Brenda had fallen ill and had gone to bed early. Sharon's eyes widened as Miss Lillard explained that Brenda had been in bed all night. Sharon's heart sank. Wait, if Brenda was at home, then who was with her granddaughters downstairs? Frantically, Sharon rushed to the basement, only to find it empty, and the girls were gone. Panic took over, and she immediately called Christina, telling her to come home. The person hidden behind that mask was not Brenda. Back at the cemetery, Brenda stood at the edge of the open grave, and she spoke of the girl who had been so burned by her parents that she couldn't leave the house. She looked like a monster with no one able to stand the sight of her. But on Halloween night, she could wear a mask and walk among the living, unnoticed and unafraid. And as Brenda spoke, she reached up slowly and she removed her mask. The girls gasped in horror as they saw her face. Twisted, melted skin and a mouth contorted in a permanent scream. It was not the face of Brenda Lillard. It was the face of someone burned and broken, of someone who didn't belong to the world of the living anymore. Thank you, Pittsburgh Penny. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Halloween. Terror exploded through the group. The girls screamed, scrambling to escape the graveyard, their frantic breaths loud in the stillness of the night. Brenda didn't move. She just watched them flee, her laughter echoing through the cold wind. Sharon arrived just as the girls stumbled out of the cemetery gates, their faces pale and their bodies trembling. Christina pulled up moments later, and the girls pointed to the mask lying in the grass. And between sobs, they told the story of the phantom girl who had come to their sleepover. The air grew cold, and for a moment, the only sound they heard was the whispering of the wind through the trees and the laughter of a small girl through the wind. The Brenner family stood there in stunned silence as they realized the truth. A ghost had walked among them, a phantom hiding behind a mask, seeking out her one night to walk unnoticed among the living. The Brenners hurried back to their house, leaving the cemetery and the phantom girl behind. The mask, still lying in the grass near the grave, shimmered in the moonlight, waiting for next Halloween, when the ghostly girl will return to walk among the living once again. And that's the tale of the masked visitor. And you guys might recognize that. That story was a reworking of an episode of the show Evil. Also, that same concept was used in Twilight Zone, as well as Are You Afraid of the Dark? In Are You Afraid of the Dark, it was the episode called Mr. Corcoran and his harmonica. Do you guys remember that one? And all the kids they were playing hide and seek with were dead. And that one blew my mind when I was a child. At the end, when they realized that those were their graves, I was like, what? So I've always kind of loved that story. And then when I saw it on Evil, I was like, oh shit, I gotta do this. This is good. Thank you, XTR. Thank you, Tater Tot. Thanks, Holly. So yes, that is a classic. One I really like is when you don't know you're hanging out with a ghost. I really, really love that trope a lot. I mean, let's be real, Sycamore Diner's pretty much the same concept, and I just love that. And yes, that is a picture of me in 3rd grade. I was just a little cutie, right? Just a little cutie. I love you, Gigi. I love how Gigi thinks everything is weird, but she comes back every night. I love her. She's like, that's weird, but I like how she's interested in it. I love you, Gigi. She was like, that's really weird. I'm like, yeah, it is, huh? Oh, you're diamond painting? Cool. Hi, Delphi. Welcome in. You're so cute. I understand. You get like hyper focused. Yes, Gigi, I think it's so cute. I really love that you're open-minded to stuff that you think is weird anyway. I love having you here. All right, guys, I will be right back with the next poll. And hey, if you're new here, welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night. Oh, welcome, Daryl. Hi. I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. And I do write and record all these stories myself. So if you want to listen to them when I'm not live, you can find them on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. And thank you, Daryl. Welcome in. I like storytelling too. Thank you, Brain Eater. How you doing? Long time no see. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Holly, thanks for the swan. I love that it's so pretty. And Desiree, thank you for the paper crane. All right, guys, I'll be right back with the next poll. And if you would do me a big favor and hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Daryl, what do you mean? Do you have to pay do you mean to listen to my stories on podcast? No, it's free. And just like you can listen to it on my YT channel for free, there are none of them. Yeah, you can watch them or listen anywhere. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. And there's also all of the links. Hi, Brain Eater, thanks. All of the links are in my bio. So if you just click on my links in my bio, you can find it that way too. And yeah, no, you don't have to pay. And welcome in, Daryl. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Gigi, thank you for the follow and welcome to the porch. I will be right back with the next poll for us to vote for the next story. So grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, check out the shooting stars, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. Happy Sunday. Okay, you guys. This is your daughter's first night. Oh, hi. Welcome to the porch, cutie. Glad you're here. All right, you guys, the next poll is ready. And don't forget, it is Silly Story Title Sunday. So these are not the original story titles. If you are new, I promise this is not the titles of my stories. We just like to have fun on Saturdays and Sundays and switch up the titles a little bit. And sometimes stories that don't usually get voted for get voted for because they sound funnier and it's more fun. So we have Look at This Stuff Isn't it neat? Okay. Then we have, he smells but has beachfront property. Okay. Then we have, I'm never crashing here again. Then we have, I hain't afraid of no ghosts. And then we have 1-star Yelp review. Okay. And you guys can vote in the top left-hand corner. There is a blue box. You guys can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. We have, look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? He smells, but has beachfront property. I'm never crashing here again. I ain't afraid of no ghost. And 1-star Yelp review. And you can vote in the top left-hand corner. There is a blue box. Who's it gonna be? And can you guys guess which stories are these titles? The regulars, at least. These are a little more difficult than the ones from last week. Bisbee said not at all. So then I did a good job. Okay, so look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Is the dog man in Michigan, because he collects everybody's shit like Ariel did. He smells but has beachfront property is the goat man. I'm never crashing here again is Rain Crow Shelter. I ain't afraid of no ghost is the Haint Blue. And 1-star Yelp review is the Thomas House Hotel. Which one, Kim? Which one did you know? Thank you, Bama. Welcome in. Thanks, Don. Welcome back, Reverend. We missed you. Hope you had a good weekend. And the winner is I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost, which is, of course, the tale of Haint Blue. And I'll be right back. That is quickly becoming a Porch Pal favorite. And I love that because that is a legend I grew up with. And I waited a while to cover some of the ones that I grew up with because they're sometimes a little more obscure and like people really like, you know, the Mothman and the bigger ones. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do one that is very niche, and you guys love it, and it makes me really happy because this I grew up with this folklore and with the people around me painting the ceilings of their porches blue, and I just love that you guys love it. So I'll be right back. And Michelle says it creeps me out. So spoken like a true Appalachian, I'm not even that creeped out by the fact that there's a shape-shifting mimic in the story. I'm like, I just love that it reminds me of where I grew up. Like, it's like Amy, which ones do you consider the spooky ones? I love to know. So I'll write more like that. Thanks, Jade. I love you. You have poison ivy. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, Nature's Oracle. I'm so sorry. That sucks. You try to roam around outdoors and look how it rewards you. What the hell? Oh, Deborah with her funny keywords. I love it. Hi, Venus. My old hose had a haint tree. I don't know what a hose is. I don't think you mean like what it sounds like, but I know what a haint tree is. Oh, house. Thank you, Michelle. Why could it? Thank you. I get it, James. Cool. By the way, if you do, just a quick warning from an Appalachian girly. If you do see a haint tree, or haint bush, which are trees and bushes with the bright blue bottles stuck on all of them, do not take one of those bottles with you. That is the dumbest thing you can do. Do not steal the bottles, because guess what those bottles are for? To catch the haints. People like to steal them, and then it's really stupid. So just gonna PSA, do not take the bottles. You do not want what's in the bottles. Good one, Rachel. Good one, Rachel. Oh, Viola, I'm so glad. Yay. Hi, Tanya. You added a blue bottle when you moved out. Good job, James. Yes, that's what the bottles are for. I'm sure you've seen them around in your life. They're not always on trees either. They're just, the bottle tree, the bottle stand. Anytime you see those blue bottles, that goes back to the same traditions. And you want to know what's funny is that tradition even goes back to Greek people. If you notice on Santorini, all of the doors are blue and some of their roofs are blue. And the original evil eye is blue. Same concept. So, yes, if you've seen those blue bottles before, that is what they're drawing from, is that folklore. Really, Priscilla? No way. I love that. Where? Your daughter has to go now. Have a good night. Thanks for listening. Come back. Priscilla, where did you grow up? I love that so much. This is why I love sharing folklore. I love teaching these stories to people. That's the whole point of folklore, is to be, Jade, God. These stories are, I know, Jade, you're so funny. What was I saying? I like sharing these stories and teaching them to you guys, because it's something that you kind of assume people know, but most people don't. And like you said, you just grew up with that and you never knew why. And like sometimes people do this stuff and they don't really know where it originated. Their grandma just told them to do it, you know? Oh, thanks, Lonnie. I know, Jade was born to pin. Go ahead, Jade. Go ahead and pin what you were pinning. Some all caps comment. Oh, Terry's comment, right? Is that what you were pinning? This one? I love you, Jade. You're so cute. She's so quick with it. That's the thing, is it's not even her fault. She's got like lightning fingers, and she doesn't even realize I've pinned something. She's like, wham, wham, pin, pin, pin. And I love it. I love her for it. All right, guys, I'll be right back with Hate Blue. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. And as I always say, there is always room for one more on the porch. So please do me a big favor and hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. There is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. I'll be right back. Thank you, Songbird. Thank you, Honest Truth. Welcome in. That's a good question, Professor. I don't even know if it has a blue ceiling. I don't even know if we can see the ceiling. That's a good question. We're going to have to figure that out. We can't even see the ceiling, can we? No. But see how it's glowing kind of blue because of the purple lights? I say it's blue. It looks pretty blue up there, doesn't it? Like, it doesn't look that different than this. Just a little. Yeah, we're safe. Whew! Phew! That was a close one. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. That was a close one. Thank you, Tickle Bears. Hi, Eric. I didn't even see you were here. Wouldn't it be an epic porch? It's my dream porch. That's my dream house. Do you guys see the dogwoods right there? Like, so all the lightning bugs. Fun fact, the lightning bugs on my YT video, like the video version of this, the lightning bugs move, and so does the fog in the Smoky Mountains. I wish they could move here, but they can't. Yeah, that's a good idea, Kim. That's actually a really, really good idea. I need to look into that. Because even if it's not on my merch site, I bet you I can find another site that does them. Because I actually just looked in today to have a really weird idea that I'm contemplating doing. It's in the works. I'm not going to tell you guys yet, but it also involves me ordering something custom. And okay, I'll tell you guys. I really want to know, if I want to gauge your opinions. What would you guys think if I got like a puppet made that looks like me, like a hand puppet that would sometimes pop up on story time with my voice? But it wouldn't be a creepy one, Jade. It would be a puppet like Jim Henson puppet, like cute as shit. Because I found my sister it was actually my sister's idea. And I was like, what? And my sister's like, yeah, she's like, I saw this thing. And I just thought immediately, like, this is so Devin. And I was like, wait, because I've never done a puppet in my life, but I do love stuffed animals a lot. And like, she sent me this link, and it's this site that literally will make a puppet that looks like you. Like if you send whatever picture you want, and it makes like a little cute Jim Henson-esque, like a cute one, not a creepy, like not like a ventriloquist. It's not some ventriloquist shit. It's just like a little hand puppet, like a cute one. And it would look like me. And I think I would like make it have Porch Lore shirt on or something, and like my hair and stuff. Yeah, like a Fraggle Rock. Yes, like that, like old school puppet. It's so cute. And yeah, it wouldn't be like a scary puppet, but I think it'd be cute to have her like pop up sometimes and because at night when it's the middle of the night, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not always like, would you guys feel like being on camera? Plus, nobody really wants to see a human on camera when they're trying to go to sleep, and they don't want to feel like they have to pay attention. But I think if a little puppet popped up every once in a while and was like, hey guys, and then went back, I think it'd be really cute. So I'm contemplating it. Because they look pretty cute. And I just feel like that'd be fun. I just feel like that would be fun. It'd just be a fun little unique thing to do. I know, I want a Zaddy plushie too. But the problem with the plushies is I have to work on it. I have to like custom design it. And then I'm not sure how the ordering process goes with that. But I need to do that because I want a Zaddy one too. But oh my god, a Merlin puppet would be so cute too. But yeah, so I just wanted to gauge what you guys thought about the puppet. Yes, I love the creepy little guy on YouTube that makes soup ASMR. That would be cool. Wait, Halls, there's a creepy puppet that makes soup ASMR on YT? Or not a puppet? You didn't say puppet. Maybe you just mean a guy. If you guys look up custom made puppets just on Google, it pops up. It was like on Shark Tank. It pops up the company and it's cute as shit. They're really cute. Oh, he's on TT too. I don't know who that is. Sheffy. Oh, yeah. Sheffy. Thank you. Yes, Halls. Sheffy. That's exactly what I want it to look like. Thank you. That's exactly it. I want her to look, I don't want it to be a realistic Devin puppet. I want her to look like a puppet Devin. Does that make sense? Like Sheffy. I want her to be cute and weird with big eyes and like a little mouth and no like ears or something. You know what I'm talking about? Like puppet style, but me. I don't want her to be a little like American Girl doll. Do you know what I mean? I don't want her to look like me I want her to be a weird puppet, like a cute little Sheffy. I know he has a little girlfriend. I know Sheffy's so cute. And I love the noises they make for him. He's so cute. But Sheffy's actually not a puppet. He's, what's it called? Stop animation, right? He's actually like, it's crazy what they put into making those videos. Because I think he's, right? Isn't he stop animation? He's not actually a puppet. Or he's claymation. No, he's a puppet. He's like material. But I think he's like, they position him each shot. Do you know what I'm talking about? And that's like a lot of work. Yeah, stop animation. That's exactly what yep, they position him for each shot, which is like crazy. A puppet's just a puppet. What they do with Sheffy's like a whole nother level. But I definitely think I'm going to get a puppet, you guys. I just need to figure out what picture to send them. Like, do I just send them my logo and they make a puppet version of her? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to send like a real picture of me because I don't want it to look too human. I want it to look like a puppet. I want it to look like a little cartoon. Like Sheffy. I almost don't want it to have a nose. You know what I'm talking about? I want it to just have like cute big eyes. We'll see. We'll see. Because they let you design it yourself. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want it to look like first. Anyway, thanks for vote or giving me your opinions. I think it's a yes. I think it's a yes. That's what I thought. I thought it would be cute, Chi-Chi, to make a little cartoon version of my logo, like a puppet version of my logo cartoon. This guy is a puppet and he goes live. String wooden beads in water soup. Holly, I need you to send it to me. I want to see this. I bet it's so cute. I can't stand it. Something Tim Burton would come up with. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or the community gift, Beefy. That's true. Yeah, like crank yankers. Like those puppets were cute. Yeah, so that's what I'm definitely but I'm like, when I say puppet, I absolutely don't mean like Slappy from fucking Goosebumps. Okay, I could not be further from that puppet. I'm talking like a Fraggle Rock type shit. I am not talking ventriloquist, horrifying. No, we're talking like Muppet puppet. June said, thanks for clarifying. Don't worry, I will not be pulling out a Slappy version of me. God, can you imagine how horrifying that would be? Yeah, Slappy freaked us all out. I hated that thing. I still do. I'm still like, ew, get away from me. Like, if I ever saw a puppet that looked like that, I would still be like, get that thing away from me. Like, can you imagine if you were just in like a vintage antique store at an antique mall and you saw one sitting in a box? Like, I would still be like, nope. Because those puppets exist. They were based off of an actual old school ventriloquist puppet. If I ever saw a real one of those, like, hell no. Hell no. Diana, that's what we were just talking about. We were just talking about how I'm going to turn these into puzzles. Oh, you requested it. Yeah. Well, guess what? I'm looking into it and we're going to make them puzzles. We're going to make them puzzles. Because I actually have the horizontal version too. I just make them vertical for the live. Yeah, and the marionettes creep me out too, Rachie. That's what I'm like, not the scary puppets. The cute ones that go on your hand that look like Kermit. You know? Like, don't even have a nose. They just have a big old mouth that flaps open and cute eyes. You know, I'm like, not a realistic puppet at all. Well, Annabelle's just a Raggedy Ann doll. So I don't find her scary. Okay, sorry guys, I took it off track. Can we write some keywords? Yeah, good job, Jade. Good job. Jade, we read each other's minds. I was just gonna say, please, we don't need a lot of puppet people coming in this bitch. No offense, but Jade, you read my mind. Yes, let's get some keywords up in here so we don't get some ventriloquists hopping up in the chat. Next, we have people come in who are like, what's wrong with Slappy? Hi, Chadsy. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of Haint Blue. The house was never supposed to be mine. When my grandmother died, nobody in the family wanted the mountain house except me. And that surprised everyone. It surprised me too. I hadn't been back to Black Ridge in almost 15 years. Not since I left for college. Not since I built a life somewhere flatter, louder, brighter. Somewhere without winding roads or thick woods pressing against every window. But grief does strange things. It rearranges memory. Makes old places feel magnetic. So, 3 months after the funeral, I packed my car and my cat Merlin and I drove back into the mountains. The house sat exactly where it always had, half hidden by dogwoods and hemlocks, perched on a rise overlooking a narrow valley in the Appalachian Mountains. White siding, green shutters, an amazing wraparound porch. And that porch ceiling, blue. Hi, Steven. Not sky blue, not cheerful blue. Faded blue-gray, almost ghostly in certain light. In Appalachia, we call it Haint Blue. I remember asking my grandmother about it as a kid. Why blue? She'd never answered directly. She just said that it keeps the haints out. Appalachian elders rarely explained the folklore that had woven its way into our modern lives. Sometimes, belief and routine fuse so completely that there isn't really a difference anymore. You painted the porch blue. You didn't whistle after dark. You didn't answer voices from the woods. And you never invited something in unless you knew exactly what it was. I spent the first week there cleaning. Dust was everywhere, boxes, old furniture. The kind of work that exhausts your body enough to quiet your mind. At night, I'd sit with all the windows open and soak in the sounds of the mountains. The groan of old wood as the night breeze crept through the trees, owls, crickets, the babbling creek. It all felt familiar, comforting. Until the knocking started. It happened about a week after I got there. 3 knocks, soft, behind me. I was washing dishes when I heard it coming from the porch door. I looked outside and nothing, just darkness, except for the porch light casting a warm circle across the wood planks. I opened the door, and a cool night breeze brushed past me. No one was there, so I shut the door, locked it, and I went to bed. The next night, the same thing. 3 knocks. This time, I didn't open the door. I just peeked through the drapes, and there was nothing outside. By the 4th night, I was officially unnerved. So I called my mom. And I asked her if my grandma had ever mentioned anything weird about the house. She sighed and asked me if I was hearing 3 knocks. How did she know? Another pause, and then she asked me if the porch was still painted blue. I stared at the porch ceiling and I confirmed that it was faded, but it was in fact still blue. What does that matter? And then my mother began to explain. My grandmother repainted that porch ceiling every spring because she said that something kept coming to her door. But she never said what that thing was. That night, I didn't sleep much. I sat in the living room with every light on. And the 3 knocks came again. And then I heard it. A woman's voice. Soft, gentle, coming from outside. It was my grandmother's voice. Sweetie? My heart stopped. Tears instantly filled my eyes. Sweetie, open the door. Every instinct told me not to. But my grief screamed louder than reason. I walked toward the door, my hand shaking. Her voice trembled now. My hands are cold. Tears ran down my face. It sounded exactly like her. Every rasp, every cadence, every tiny breath. My hand touched the lock. And then a memory came flooding back. Love you, Mackenzie. It was me at 6 years old, sitting beside my grandma on that porch swing. Her voice was low and serious. If something outside sounds like somebody you love, it ain't. I snatched my hand back from the lock. Outside, the voice stopped and silence followed. Then slowly the doorknob turned. Once, twice, 3 times. It was trying to get in. Then the voice returned with no warmth now. It still sounded like my grandmother, but wrong.
Why won't you let me in?
I backed away. The wood around the door creaked with pressure, as if something was leaning against it. And then scratching. Deliberate down the wood, like fingernails. I quietly ran upstairs and I barricaded myself in a room. The scratching continued for hours. Morning finally came, and I forced myself downstairs. It was gone, but the front door had 4 long gouges in the wood. I almost left that day. But then I found something in my grandmother's sewing room. A notebook. Her handwriting. Recipes, bills, garden notes. And then 1 page written in thick black ink. Only 4 lines. It learns voices. Do not answer it. Do not invite it in. And if the blue fades, repaint immediately. My stomach dropped. I ran outside and I looked up at the porch ceiling. The blue paint was peeling and faded. Bare wood showed through in patches. So I listened. And I drove into town to buy paint in the color that my grandmother called haint blue. The hardware store owner, an old man named Virgil, watched as I placed the paint cans on the counter. Then he asked, You paint your Meemaw's porch?" I stared at him for a minute. Then he said, "Now you be sure to paint it before the night settles in." That was all he said. So, I listened. And I raced home. By sunset, I was almost done. Brush strokes, fresh blue, steady hands, almost finished. And then I heard a voice behind me. My own voice. Thank you, Justin. Thanks, Bisbee. Hey, turn around. Every hair on my arm stood up. Hi, Mothman. Welcome in. Hello, Mothman. And then again, I heard my exact voice. I said, turn around. I didn't turn around. I just kept painting. Heart slamming, brush shaking. Why won't you look at me? I ignored it. I could hear the footsteps on the wood behind me. Whatever stood there stood on the porch with me. I painted faster. I only had a little section left. Just keep painting and don't turn around. As my brush made the final stroke of that magical blue paint, I heard something behind me shriek. Something ancient, screaming in 100 stolen voices. And then, silence. That was several years ago, and I still live here. And every spring, I repaint the porch ceiling. Every inch, no exceptions. Tonight, I finished in a bit of a rush. I was running behind. Fresh paint blue. Pretty good coverage if I do say so myself. And I felt safe. Until 10 minutes ago, someone knocked 3 times. And then from the other side of the door, I heard brushstrokes and fresh wet paint. And my voice chuckling while saying, "Hey, you missed a spot." And that's the tale of Haint Blue. Thanks for joining, Arturo. Welcome in. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Welcome in, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all these stories myself, so you can listen to them even when I'm not live on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. If you just look for Porch Lore, you will find me, and all the links are also in my bio. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, Linda. Thanks, Dave. Those are so cute, Dave. Thanks. Thanks, Suzanne. Thanks, Maureen. If you guys could do me a big favor, I'm going to set up the next poll for us to vote for the next story. If you could, oh, hi, Giggles. If you could hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little yellow circle that says repost. If you've already done it, you can undo it and redo it again. Oh my God, thanks, Esmeralda. I love Prairie Cooper. He's so cute. He was on a watermelon. Did you see his watermelon? You can unpost and repost again. That helps just reset the algorithm. And feel free to share it in your stories. Share it with your friends. Tapping helps immensely. I see all you guys got to 200K. Thank you so much. Lightning fingers. Give me 1 second and I'll be back with the next poll for us to vote. So grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. Really, Mama Bear? I love that. Okay, guys, the next poll is ready. Erica, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. All right, you guys ready for this? Okay, we have, and just a reminder if you're new here, this is Silly Story Title Sunday. So these are not my real titles. These are silly titles. So try to guess best as you can what stories these are. Ready? We have Mr. Poopy Paws. We have He Smells but has beachfront property. We have He's Just a Baby. We have I Have a Fucking Permit. And we have I can't. The permit was killing me. And we have Splish Splash, You're Dead. And you guys can vote in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box. You can vote up to 50 times. And you can vote for more than one story. Who's it gonna be? Mr. Poopy Paws. He smells but has beachfront property. He's just a baby. I have a fucking permit. And Splish Splash, You're Dead. No, Jade. No. Curtis is not a baby. There's literally only one baby in all of my stories. Get it together, Jade. Right, Lovely? Lovely said, Jade, seriously? Yeah, it's just one baby. Hi, Lovely. Oh, baby, and I have a fucking permit or neck and neck. Who's it gonna be? I have a fucking permit. Or he's just a baby. Brooke's here. Brooke said, no, I haven't seen you. Lovely. Brooke said, Christ, only one baby a whole week I wasted. I'm never going to get over that. It's so funny. Yeah, it does make me laugh, Guinevere. Hi, Rachel. And the winner is, he's just a baby. Yeah. I have a fucking permit. I didn't know if it would let me do the F and asterisk, and it did. It did. It put it under review, but then it reviewed it, and it was like, all right, exactly, Gigi. All right, guys, I'll be right back with He's Just a Baby, also known as The Tale of the Chupacabra. How did we get He's Just a Baby from Chupacabra? You'll see. Why are you offended, Jade? Yeah, and you weren't here. You weren't here, Jade. And I titled it, Jade Whines About Her Foot. It was good. Didn't win, though. Because you weren't here. But you were doing very important things. Whoa, Rachie, you did? What did it look like? Did it say hi? Did it howl? What did it do? We need the deets. Thank you, Michelle.
There's the baby.
Whoa, Rachie, cool. Hey, Brooke. Hey, Brooke, look at Skrilla. Hi, Barbles. Thank you so much. Welcome to the porch. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Chupacabra. Yes, Brooke spent a week looking for the second baby. Most people think they know what a chupacabra is. Yeah, it was because of Jade and Lovely. If you ask someone in the United States, they'll usually describe a hairless, dog-like creature with gray skin and glowing eyes. Sometimes they'll show you photos of mangy coyotes that newspapers labeled chupacabra 20 years ago. But that isn't the creature that terrified Puerto Rico. And that isn't the creature that launched one of the most explosive cryptid panics in modern history. Hi, Chance. And that isn't the creature that I went looking for. I became fascinated by the chupacabra because of how the story just suddenly appeared. Legends usually evolve slowly. Bigfoot stories can be traced back through generations of indigenous traditions. Lake monsters often have centuries of reported sightings. But the chupacabra seemed different. It exploded into public awareness almost overnight. In 1995, livestock across Puerto Rico began turning up dead under bizarre circumstances. Goats, chickens, rabbits, and other animals were found completely drained of blood. Witnesses describe puncture wounds in the neck and the chest. And that there was always a surprisingly small amount of blood at the scene. And then came the sightings. The original witnesses weren't describing a canine. They described something far stranger. A creature standing roughly 4 to 5 feet tall. Dark gray skin, large eyes, and spines running down its back, and long arms ending in clawed fingers. A body that moved in short bursts, sometimes upright and sometimes hunched. People across Puerto Rico reported seeing the same thing. The epicenter of the panic became Canavenas. Hundreds of reports poured in. The mayor at the time became so convinced something was stalking the countryside that organized searches were conducted. Now, whether those reports represent hysteria, misidentification, or something genuine remains heavily debated. But one thing is undeniable. The people reporting these encounters were terrified. The folklore itself became tangled with older traditions. Puerto Rico's cultural history is a blend of indigenous Taino heritage, Spanish influence, and African traditions carried by enslaved people. Long before the chupacabra name existed, stories already circulated about predatory night creatures lurking at the edges of the settlements. Shape-shifting entities, forest spirits, blood-drinking monsters, guardians of places humans were not meant to enter. The chupacabra may have been new, but the fear that it awakened was ancient. And that was exactly why I booked a flight. I wanted to understand how a legend could emerge so quickly and yet feel so old. So I traveled to Puerto Rico, specifically Canavanas. I arrived during the wet season. Thank you, Chance. The countryside was astonishingly beautiful. Rolling green hills, dense tropical forests, banana groves, mist-covered ridges. Everything felt alive. The humidity wrapped around me the moment I stepped outside the airport. By the time I reached Canavanas, my clothes already felt damp. I spent the first several days doing what I always do when researching folklore. I talked to people. Farmers, local historians, park workers, longtime residents. Not everyone believed in the chupacabra, but even the skeptics treated the legend with a strange degree of respect. People laughed about it, but then they lowered their voices. People dismissed it, and then they admitted they'd avoided certain areas after dark. People claimed it was nonsense, and then they told me about livestock deaths they couldn't explain. The reports shared remarkable similarities. Many sightings occurred near heavily forested ravines, near rivers, near abandoned agricultural land, slowly being reclaimed by the jungle. Areas where visibility vanished after sunset and places where sound carried strangely. Places where people felt watched. One elderly farmer described a region locals rarely entered after dark. Not because of the chupacabra specifically, but because strange things had happened there long before the chupacabra became famous. And that caught my attention. In folklore, ancient legends often survive by attaching themselves to newer stories. And over time, people's interpretations of their experiences take different forms and languages change. So I wondered if the chupacabra was merely the latest name for something much older. A week into my trip, I decided to explore one of those remote regions for myself. The area sat several miles outside of town. A patchwork of overgrown fields, limestone outcroppings, and dense tropical forest. The terrain was rough, steep, wild. Exactly the sort of place where people could convince themselves they saw monsters. I parked near an abandoned farm and I started hiking. The property had clearly been deserted for years. Vines consumed the fences. Trees erupted through old foundations. Rusting machinery disappeared beneath vegetation. Everything felt suspended between civilization and wilderness. I spent most of the afternoon documenting the area, photographing old structures and taking notes, comparing locations against historical reports. And nothing unusual happened. At least, not initially. The first thing I noticed was the silence. The rainforest had been loud all day. Birds, insects, tree frogs. And then suddenly nothing. The air itself seemed to be listening. I stopped walking and the silence remained. And my instincts began whispering, not panic, just awareness. The same sensation hikers often describe before realizing they've wandered into a predator's territory. So I looked around carefully. Nothing, just jungle. Dense green walls stretching in every direction. I continued forward, and the silence followed. And then I found the goats. 3 of them, dead, lying near the remains of a collapsed fence. At first glance, they appeared untouched. There were no obvious signs of a predator. No missing flesh, no scattered remains. But something about it seemed wrong. The bodies looked too clean. I approached cautiously, and there were wounds, small punctures near the chest. Very subtle, almost surgical. I took photographs. The ground was hard and rocky in the area, so I didn't see any tracks from an animal. Whatever had killed them hadn't left any obvious evidence. I reminded myself that there were rational explanations like disease, parasites. And then I heard movement. A brief rustling. I turned immediately and there was nothing there. I waited, and the feeling of being watched intensified. Every instinct in my body recognized it. Something was observing me. I slowly scanned the tree line, and that's when I saw it. At first glance, I thought it was a person crouching among the vegetation, which was honestly more horrifying. But then it moved, and the creature unfolded from behind a cluster of palms. It stood approximately 4 feet tall, maybe slightly taller. Its skin appeared dark gray, not fur, skin. Tight against a lean frame. Its head was large and its eyes reflected ambient light in a deep reddish glow. And along its spine, rows of raised structures protruded from its back. Not exaggerated spikes like horror movies, more like ridges. Organic, natural. The creature wasn't charging me or puffing up to appear threatening. It wasn't stalking me, it was just watching me, studying me. The intelligence in its gaze was what startled me the most. Predators usually look through you, like you are just food. But the chupacabra looked at me like there was curiosity there. Assessment. Calculation. I froze. Every survival instinct told me not to run. The creature tilted its head slightly. And then another movement caught my eye. A second figure, smaller, partially concealed. Oh my God, there were 2 of them. The smaller one remained hidden among vegetation. And once it saw that I had noticed the smaller one, the larger one stepped forward. Only a few feet, but enough. Enough for me to see details. The limbs were long. The fingers ended in dark claws. Its chest expanded slowly with controlled breaths, like it was trying to catch its breath. Its skin bore scars, crossing its body in pale lines. And for several seconds, neither of us moved. And then the larger creature looked toward the dead goats. And then she looked back at me. And then over toward the forest where the smaller one was hiding. And then back at me. A sequence, deliberate, an attempt to communicate with me. As though she understood exactly what I was documenting and she wanted me to know why. I crouched down and I kneeled on one knee in an attempt to show that I meant no harm, that I was not a threat. And I watched as the creature let out a long, deep breath, a sigh of relief that made my heart break a little. The moment stretched out for what felt like an hour, and we just stared at each other in awe. And then, the smaller creature made a brief clicking sound, and the larger one reacted instantly and leapt back into the trees. And just like that, they both vanished. Their movement was so fast and efficient that the jungle swallowed them almost immediately. Within seconds, they were gone. I stood there for several minutes, trying to process what had just happened to me. Eventually, I started to hike back toward my car, and the walk back felt much longer. Every shadow seemed alive and every rustle demanded my attention, but nothing else appeared. By the time I reached the road, daylight was fading rapidly. I drove back to town, my head spinning, with more questions than answers. Over the following days, I reviewed photographs and notes. What did I encounter? Maybe an unknown animal? Maybe something folklore eventually wrapped itself around? Or maybe the legend exists because people occasionally stumble across something that doesn't fit neatly into our categories. What I do know is this. The forests around Canovenas are older than the Chupacabra legend. And the fear attached to those places is older too. Long before newspapers printed the word Chupacabra, people were reporting strange encounters in those hills. Something inspired those stories, and something continues to inspire them to this day. So if you ever decide to explore those forests yourself, remember that not everything unknown is a threat. And not every mystery wants to be solved. I went looking for a legend, and what I found was a reminder that there are still corners of the world where creatures continue to evade their biggest threat, and that is human entitlement and destruction. And they just want to be left alone in peace. I don't know whether the chupacabra is supernatural or merely an animal that science hasn't cataloged yet. But I can say this. I encountered something in that jungle that was just as scared of me as I was of it. And the terrifying creatures that cryptids warn their young about are humans. And that's the tale of the chupacabra. And thank you, Metro. Oh, you like that, Skrilla? Also, hallways, are you okay? You're saying some really random shit while I was telling that story. I just want to make sure, you okay? Good night, Desiree. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming pages. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. Also, all of the links are in my bio. Thank you, Jack City. Hi, Barballs. Also, thank you to everybody tapping. Thank you for the beautiful gifts. Thank you, Courtney. Thanks for helping me with my gallery and my gift goals. Thanks for tapping. What, Kim? What, Kim? Listen to what? Oh, cool. Thanks. Thanks, Kim. Also, guys, if you could do me a big favor and hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. There's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow our beautiful porch with cool people. Hi, Rhyme. And guess what? I'm gonna do an extra story again tonight. Right, Brooke. And thank you to everybody tapping. And so I'll be right back with the next poll. Yes, Rhyme, that does help. Yep. Not like right away, but like every once in a while. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Siren. Thank you so much for helping me with my goal. Yes, Gage, you made it just in time. Welcome back, Gage. Snow White, thanks for the follow. It's an honor. Welcome to the porch. Brooke, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Holly, thank you so much. I love that star map of Polaris. Thank you. Aw, of course, Holly. You're so sweet. The poll's under review. Let's hope it approves my silly story titles. Okay, you guys, the next poll is ready. All right, and we have also just a reminder that this is Silly Story Title Sunday. So these are not the original titles. They're silly titles. We have He Smells but has beachfront property. Jade whines about her foot. Mr. Poopy Paws. The two-faced bee, bitch. And I have a fucking permit. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. There is a blue box and you can vote up to 50 times. And you can vote for more than one story. Who's it gonna be? We have He Smells But Has Beachfront Property. We have Jade Whines About Her Foot. We have Mr. Poopy Paws. We have the Two-Faced Biatch. And we have I Have a Fucking Permit. Also, hello, good Sir Stromberg. Welcome to the porch. You like that one, Siren? We have He Smells, but He Has Beachfront Property. Jade Whines About Her Foot. Mr. Poopy Paws. Two-Faced Bee, and I Have a Fucking Permit. Changed what, Hunter? What are you talking about? Thank you, Kreger. Nashax, thank you for the follow and welcome to the porch. Oh my god, thank you, Holly. That's so cute. Thank you for helping me with my gallery. No one ever goes to my gallery. Thank you so much. Thanks, Holly. I really appreciate it. Lilith, thank you for the follow. Madrigal, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Hi, Live, Laugh, Love. Welcome back. Deborah, thank you for the roses. And the winner is, I'm surprised. I thought Jade's foot was going to win. That was a close one. You lost a permit. You did. I know, sniped with the permit. The winner is, I have a fucking permit. I have a permit, and they're not going to make me leave these woods. Hello, rotisserie chicken. Welcome in. And true story, I am this stubborn. I would absolutely be like, they're not fucking forcing me out of this. I had a plan for a fun weekend. So, I do usually write my character most of the time the way I am. So, but I'm not a Karen about permits. It's the fact that I'm not going to let someone scare me out of somewhere I'm allowed to be. You're not going to tell me what to do. I'll leave when I feel like it. Be right back. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. Check out the shooting stars. Happy Sunday. And I'll be right back with a tale of Booger Hollow. And if you guys could do me a big favor and hit that share arrow, in the bottom right hand corner there is a yellow circle with two arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Jade, maybe reel it in with pinning random stuff. Kim said she's gone rogue. Yeah, I think it was just you, Jade. Plus, we're not starting another goddamn food conversation in this live, I swear to God. I'm so sick of talking about food in my live and then I can't eat anything because it's 2 a.m. I stay up late to do this, Jade. The least you can do is not tease me with delicious food that I can't fucking eat because I don't get done till 2 and I'm still awake. That's mean. Well, if you're starving, then go eat something, Jade, and don't bring that shit in here, okay? Because so am I. Hi, Dave. Jade. Be right back with the tale of Booger Hollow. Oh, thank you, Dave. That's so sweet. Jade, I pinned it. Jade, you're allowed to pin. Just don't pin it every single random comment. Thank you, Misbehaving. Thanks, Holly. Rhyme. Don't even worry about it. Wait, Shaggy. It wasn't me. I was like, Shaggy. I thought you meant from Scooby-Doo. Hi, Matt. The best part is, Justin, I actually did that. I accidentally did that. Oh my God, thank you. That's so cute. That is so cute. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Misbehaving for the Galaxy. Rachie, thanks for the hand hearts. Rhyme, there's like 12 moderators in here. Very modded. There's Jade, Kim, Lovely, Justin, Beefy, Yaya. Who else is in here right now? We've got a lot of mods. Erica was in here earlier. Kim's the one you need to watch out for. And Yaya. Skrilla. Yes, we do have amazing mods, the best mods. And Justin keeps all the naughty pages from being spotted. Kim is the pit bull. Jade is the pinner and the sender outer cutie. And Justin's also the welcoming committee, which I love. Yaya is the secret sniper. And Lovely is just the little cutie bundle of joy who also helps with lots of random shit. And Beefy is hanging out, backing up. And Daniel's son hasn't been around for a while. I think he got a job at night. Yes, Justin drives a welcome wagon. Yep, he's the greeter we all look forward to. Yep, and Lovely's like the like she's like, I'm gonna go check it out, and the next thing I know, she's over on YT fixing shit. She's just amazing. And she updated the story list on Discord for us. Y'all are just great. So yes, there are lots of mods in here, and thank you. You guys are the best. Yes, you're all special and work together for not having a real plan. Exactly. Because I also don't have rules for my mods. Really. I don't have like that. Some of them have like Paula used to have a form that her mods filled out. I was like, girl, that's a little much. I just don't really, I'm like, because I feel like my mods know me well enough that they know my discretion and they know what I will put up with and what I don't want to fucking put up with. Especially Kim. I don't know what a deep, loyal bench is, but I like it. I like it, Mario. Yeah, I do. I don't know what that means, but yeah. Hi, Puerto Rican shorty. How you doing, cutie? All right, quick swig and I'll be back with Booger Holly. Also known as I have a fucking permit. I'm so excited, Rachie. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I've seen that too, Lily, and it's so weird. And I'm so grateful. None of the mods here give a shit. Like, we're all so chill. None of them would ever, like, compete. That's the stupidest shit. But I have seen that happen in other lives. It's very weird. Nev, right? Well, and it's because the mods in here are all like, I don't know, my actual friends. Does that make sense? So it's like they're not just like randos that are like trying to compete with the host for, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever, trying to compete with other mods to get the host attention or get pinned or something. I don't know. They're not like that. They're actually my friends. So we work as a team because they help support me in my goals and my dreams. And I appreciate it immensely. But they do this out of just their kindness of their hearts and helping me try to support my dreams. And that's it. Yeah, I do. I write all my own stories. Right, Kim? Like, seriously. Like, what? Oh, thanks, lovely. I do attract the good. I tried to tell Jade that a long time ago when all these bad people kept weeding themselves out of our group. And Jade was like, what's going on? And I was like, trust me, girl. Trust me. I'm the supreme. Just wait. Like, the bad ones weed themselves out. It's so easy. And the good people are, it's magnetic. Yeah, great, Stromberg. Thank you. How you doing? Wait, aren't you that little holy shit? Aren't you that little wait, why can't I look at your profile? Aren't you that Oh my god, you are. I love you. I was just talking about puppets earlier. And you're a rodent. I love rodents. Oh my god. Hi. Hi. I do follow you. Hi. I do follow you. How you doing? Hello. I do follow you guys. Look at his page. He's like a puppet rat and he's so fucking cute. And yes, that's how weird I am. Or she's a puppet rat. I'm not sure who's behind the puppet, but I'm so weird that I follow a puppet rat account. You watch it too, Skrilla? Yeah. Welcome in. I'm honored to have you in here, Sir Stromberg. You're so cute. And I was just talking to the Porch Pals about how I'm debating getting my own little Porch Pal puppet to talk sometimes. Not like in skits or anything, but just like pop up on the screen when I'm doing lives. But oh, you guys, you do too? Yeah, it's an honor to have you in here. You're so cute. I love you. I love your page. Welcome in. Welcome to the porch. All right, guys. You do creepy stories for sleepy snories? Oh my god, that's the cutest saying too. You're so cute. You're so cute. Yes, be sure to follow. You don't need my help though. You have lots of followers already. I know the little outfits are so cute, Skrill. I love how so many people in here follow you too. I thought I was weird, but nope, plenty of y'all follow too. It's so nice to have you in here. See, guys, we attract the right vibe of people. Yes, we should collaborate. That would be so fun. I would love to do that. I'm totally down. My email is porchlore@gmail.com. That's okay, Matt. I hope you're having fun on your vacation. We miss you and we love you. All right, guys, quick swig of my tea, and I will be back with the tale of Booger Hollow, also known as I have a fucking permit. I know a story with them would be the cutest thing on the planet. I am a 1,000,000% down. You're right, I do need a capybara puppet. They kind of are my brand. They're kind of my thing because I'm obsessed. Yes, Ethel, for sure, girl. Swig time, John. Welcome back, John. We've missed you. It's been a while. Do y'all see these banners since the update? These banners are just the worst since it updated. Like, what are they doing? See it? It's like twitching. And I just like, once I resize it, it stops. Like, hello, fix it. It's so annoying. Yeah, it's like having a seizure. Like, why is it doing that? And it's ever since the studio update. I know, it's so annoying. Cannot stand it. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of Booger Hollow. Good night, Jade. Love you. Sweet dreams. Enjoy your food. Send me pictures of it so I can cry. Oh, thanks, John. Love you. Most people have never heard of Booger Hole, West Virginia. The name sounds like something made up to scare children. But it was real. A settlement hidden deep in the mountains of Clay County. The community is long gone now, and the roads faded away, the houses collapsed. The forests swallowed almost everything that remained. But the stories never disappeared. Old local accounts talk about murders, feuds, vigilante justice, disappearances, and families who seemed to vanish into the mountains. Some people claim the hollow is haunted by the original settlers. Others insist there are still descendants living deep in the woods who don't want outsiders around. I don't know what to believe. I only knew that the area allowed primitive backcountry camping and that I had secured permits for myself and 2 friends for a 3-day weekend. The plan was simple: camp Friday night, explore Saturday, and leave on Sunday. It should have been an easy, peaceful outing. Instead, it became one of the most terrifying weekends of my life. The first sign something was wrong happened less than an hour after we arrived. We had finished setting up camp beside a narrow creek running through the hollow. The clearing wasn't large, but it was perfect for 3 tents and a fire. Dense forests surrounded us on all sides. I was unpacking supplies when I noticed something standing on the ridge above camp. Yay, Diana, thanks. At first, I thought it was just another hiker. But then I realized they were just standing there watching us. Not moving, not hiking, just observing. The figure was tall, painfully thin, and the clothing looked old-fashioned. The person stood among the trees and stared directly at us. Finally, I just decided to wave at them. The moment I did, they stepped behind a tree and disappeared. Okay, weirdo. About 30 minutes later, we heard someone whistle from the woods. Not a bird, it was a human whistle. And then another whistle answered from somewhere further up the mountain. And then another. The whistles moved through the forest around us, one ridge and then another. It felt like people were communicating with each other about us. Hi, Dave. We continued setting up camp. We had permits. We weren't trespassing. Whoever these dudes were, they were not going to intimidate us into leaving. We were staying. By sunset, we regretted that decision. Thanks, John. The first visitor walked into camp just as darkness settled over the hollow. And he didn't emerge cautiously. He just walked directly out of the trees as if he belonged there. The man looked to be in his 60s. His clothes were filthy and his beard reached nearly to his chest. And his eyes never blinked, not once. The man slowly looked over every piece of gear we owned. Every cooler, every tent, every backpack. And then his gaze settled on me. He said nothing, but the expression on his face was resentment. The kind of resentment someone carries for years. I introduced myself and I told him that we had permits and planned to leave Sunday. The man listened without reacting. And then he introduced himself as Bishop Miller. And then he told us that the families didn't want us there. Not the locals, not the landowners, just the families. As if everyone should know who he meant. He stared at our campfire for several seconds before turning around and walking back into the woods. No goodbye, no explanation, just gone. Hi, Queen Lakota. Okay. Around midnight, I realized that one of our coolers had vanished. Not misplaced, gone. Nowhere to be found within our campsite. We spent nearly an hour searching. Eventually, we found it sitting upright in the middle of the creek nearly 100 yards downstream. Good night, Brooke. All of the food inside had been removed. Somebody had carried the cooler away while our backs were turned as we sat around the fire. None of us had seen or heard them. And the thought was horrifying that someone had entered our camp without us even noticing. The next morning, fresh footprints covered the muddy ground around our tents. And it wasn't just one or two sets, it looked like at least 6 or 7 different people had walked through our camp while we slept. One set led directly to my tent. The print stopped inches from where my head had been. Skrilla. I couldn't stop staring at them. Someone had stood there watching me sleep. That afternoon, we explored the remains of the old settlement. Most structures had collapsed decades ago. A few stone chimneys still stood among the trees. Near one foundation, we found something strange. Names carved into weathered wood. Not initials, full names. Maddox Miller, Harper Miller, Tanner Miller, and Bishop Miller. The carvings appeared very old. But Bishop was the name of the old man who came into our campsite. We photographed them and we continued hiking. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Kimmy. As evening approached, we returned to camp. The atmosphere felt wrong immediately. Our tents had been opened. Nothing valuable was stolen. Instead, our belongings had been rearranged, sleeping bags moved, clothes stacked in piles, backpacks emptied. Personal items were placed neatly around the fire circle. People had been inside our camp again. People who wanted us to know that they could come and go whenever they pleased. Shortly after dark, figures appeared beyond the firelight. At least 8 of them. Men, women, children, standing among the trees, just watching us. The same filthy clothes, the same hollow expressions. None of them spoke, they just simply stared. Whenever we approached or tried to speak to them, they retreated deeper into the woods. And whenever we returned to camp, they came closer again. Hour after hour. The hollow no longer felt like the wilderness. It felt like we had camped in the middle of someone's village. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Rachel. Around midnight, I woke up to movement outside my tent. Heavy footsteps. Human footsteps. I opened the tent flap and I froze. A woman stood beside the fire pit. Moonlight illuminated her face. Her hair hung to her waist and mud covered her bare feet. She wasn't watching the woods. She was watching my tent. She was watching me. For several seconds, neither of us moved. And then she smiled. And not a friendly smile. A menacing smile. So I scrambled out of the tent and I yelled at her to leave us alone. The woman just turned slowly and walked calmly back into the darkness. The others woke when they heard me yelling. We shined our inadequate flashlights into the woods and we saw nothing. By dawn, none of us wanted to stay another night. Scroll. But we were stubborn and we paid for permits. We had every right to be there. And these weirdos were not going to scare us off. So we stayed. The final night became a siege. The people stopped hiding and they walked openly around the camp. They stood between the trees and they watched from the creek bank. Several times they approached close enough that we could clearly see their faces. One man repeatedly circled camp carrying an antique lantern. Another sat on a fallen log for nearly an hour, eating an apple, just smiling a creepy smile and staring directly at us. Near midnight, one of them threw our firewood into the creek. Then someone else dragged one of our folding chairs into the woods. The harassment never stopped. Every time we would cover another item, another disappeared. Sleep became impossible and the fear was constant. These people seemed determined to drive us away. Kim. just before dawn on Sunday, everything changed. The entire group. So funny. Everything changed. The entire group appeared together. More than 20 people. They stood among the drifting fog. Men, women, children, entire families. Watching silently from the trees. For several minutes, nobody moved. And then the rising sun touched the ridge. The fog shifted, and every single person disappeared. One moment, they were there, and the next, the forest stood empty. We packed immediately. We were done. Because our permits were only till Sunday. As we hiked out, we took a different trail that followed an old wagon road through the woods. About an hour later, we discovered a cemetery. The graveyard sat atop a small hill overlooking a hollow. Many of the gravestones had fallen. Others leaned at odd angles, but enough remained legible to read. I stopped at the first stone, and the name made my stomach drop. Maddox Miller, Harper Miller, Tanner Miller, and Bishop Miller. Beefy. The same name as the old man. The same names carved into that abandoned structure. These were the names of the people we had seen all weekend. And then I noticed the dates. Every grave belonged to someone who had died between the 1880s and the early 1900s. Entire families. Rows of them. Parents, children, grandparents, dozens of graves. The deeper we walked into the cemetery, the faces I remembered from the woods seemed to attach to the names. The old lantern man, the woman beside my tent. Name after name. They were all buried here. We left without speaking. I still don't know what happened in Booger Hollow. Maybe we spent an entire weekend being terrorized by an isolated group of feral mountain people protecting their territory. Or maybe the stories about the Hollow are true. Maybe the original families never really left. All I know is this. The man who first warned us away told us that the families didn't want us there. And at the time, I thought he meant living families. But now, I'm not so sure. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much. Kim. And that's the tale of Booger Hollow. Oh, thank you, Misbehaving. That's so cute. Hi, Crystal. Oh, thank you, Colin. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Hi, Sarah. Welcome in, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. Tonight I went later. On the weekend sometimes I tell extra stories. I also premiere a new one of these stories every Monday on my YT channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tomorrow you can join us for a live premiere, live chat over on YT at 7. We have a lot of fun. And AMG, we used it all. We stayed till it was over. We didn't even need a refund. We stayed until the damn permit was over. Also, I do write and record all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them whenever you want when I'm not live. I have a playlist on my YT channel called Bedtime Stories. I also have all of these stories available on all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. I also have all of the links in my bio. Damn right I did, John. That's right. That's right. Hi, Mary. Hi, John. And if you guys know what time it is grilled cheese time. You guys could do me a favor and hit that share arrow and the little yellow circle with two, oh, thanks, Crystal, with the 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. That little yellow circle, that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps grow our beautiful porch. And yeah, all the Johns are coming in. Thank you, Perry, for the masquerade. Thank you, Perry. And hello, Warrior Squirrel. Love that name. Good night, Sarah. Sweet dreams. We love you. Nice to see ya. All right, guys. And again, the premiere tomorrow, I will still be live at 10 o'clock afterwards, just if you want to join us and get a first listen and hang out and chat. We have fun over there. So I will be right back with the last story of the night, which is The Tale of the Night Shift at Sycamore Diner. So grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. There's always room for one more on the porch. Thank you, Cletus. Welcome. Also, Kim, I hid some French Montana lyrics in the story that I wrote for tomorrow. Let's see who can find them. And yes, you heard that right. I hid French Montana lyrics in the story. Let's see who can find them. Huh? Huh? Queen Lakota said, yeet. Yes, Skrill. I've decided I think I'm going to start trying to hide rap lyrics in my stories because they're good writers and they're clever. And this one's actually not. This one's just a standard. This is not a clever lyric. You might miss it if you don't listen to French Montana. It's not conspicuously a rap lyric, but it is to me because every time I hear it, that's all I think of is him. So that's the only clue I'm giving. I will give another hint. Shorty fell in love with a hustler. Man, I took her from a bus stop. I know Anubis, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna bring some of that shit back. Thanks, Misbehaving. And I also, it is not, never mind, I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, I was gonna say puff puff pass with your looking ass. Bust it open, make it nasty. With too short. Well, see, Colin, it's just like, it'll be like one lot. Like, it won't even be noticeable as a rap lyric. Unless you know. That's why I'm giving you guys a heads up. Good night, Jen. Sweet dreams. That's actually a great idea, Justin. The puppet can rap. The puppet's gonna be the rapper. Oh my god, yes. There it is, Justin. There it is. I feel like my puppet has to have hoops. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Yes, and long ass nails. And Kim, you already know she's not in those fucking New Balances. You know that she's in Reeboks. Please. Please. The bigger, you know, they say the bigger the hair, the closer to God. The bigger the hoops, the more she'll fight. Yeah, no heels, Kim. We're going to go with the Reeboks, I think. I think my puppet would prefer Reeboks. Black Air Forces. Fuck yeah. Air Force Ones. Keep them stomping in my Air Force One. Whoop. Lenny, thanks for the follow. Was it the half-assed puppet rapping? 'Cause thanks. Gotcha. I legit still wear Reeboks only. Like, I have them in like mauve and peach, and they're still like kind of like I'll fight you shoes. You guys know what I'm talking about. The Reebok girls were different. We're not the New Balance girls. And if you know, you know. Okay, I still wear them, and I still love them. I have a pair right now that's like a blush color with a like orchid pink swipes on the side. They're so cute. I don't know what British Knights are, but cool. I'm not like a shoe head or anything. I just like Reeboks. Snapple possum jeans. I can't tell if that's like a voice to text typo or if that's a joke. Yeah, I'm like, are they, you mean apple bottom jeans or Snapple possum? What? Oh my God. You're not getting, wait a minute. Stop everything. Okay. Stop everything. I thought she meant apple bottom jeans. And I was like, I think that's a talk to text. Nope. She has bright orange jeans that are covered with snapples and possums all over them. What? I love that. I thought you meant apple bottom jeans. That's so funny. Snapple possum. Alexa, can you please tell me what Snapple possum jeans are? Thank you. I know, me too, Kim. I thought it was a talk to text error. I was like, I think it's apple bottom. And then even Skrilla was like, I think she means apple bottom jeans. I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, no, literally, they're jeans with snapples and possums. Hey, Justin, you missed oh, you got it. Okay. There's a song too. Oh, so they know it sounds like that then. They're doing it on purpose. Like Snapple bottom or Snapple possum jeans, boots with pepper. They're like, they know. And they did that on purpose because that's, look them up. Okay. I'm going to do it right now. You should probably post that in the Discord for all of us, Siren, because we all are dying to know now. Oh, Justin's on it. Okay, I had to pause because, me too, Kim, because I really thought she meant apple bottom jeans. And then she's like, no, they're bright orange and they have snapples and possums all over them. Siren, please join the Discord, please. There's the link. Justin pinned it. That's going to be a new thing. Snapple possum jeans. People are like, what? No. Snapples and possums. Okay, two of my favorite fucking things. And I'm not gonna lie, I do love Snapple and possums. So like, where can I get a pair? I don't like orange though. Not that much. So like, I just don't look good and I'm a natural like strawberry blonde girly and orange looks so bad on me. So like, how do I buy them in like periwinkle? You just saw them. They're adorable. Okay, give me 1 second. Just kidding. That's not how I type. Justin and I actually own a pair of periwinkle jeans from Calvin Klein. They're really cute. Kim, I was trying to type like you. You should see Kim, that one when you were typing, whenever Kim types her appeals, she's like, and then you fucking motherfucking shit, and clank, 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 clank. I love it. Oh, Skrilla, you're cute. Stop. You're cute. Yeah, my fake typing. I just clunk, 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 clunk. My poor iPad was like, what the hell did I do? You do tear the keyboard up, Kim, and I love it. You're like, and furthermore. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Oh, we just got a Snapple Possum Jeans post in the Discord. Yes, I can't wait to look at it. Yeah, you do, Skrilla. Yeah, you do. I'm not usually the kind of person who pulls over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. It was late October, and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. Thank you, Mace. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through 5 hours, no stops. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones and makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. I had taken the wrong exit trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road, surrounded by nothing but pine trees and power lines. Hi, Lorna. I love you. Hi, Lorna. That's my friend in China, Lorna. Hi, Lorna. And that's when I saw the neon sign. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering like it hadn't worked right in years. But the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. A tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map, and get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made this sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. And the air inside was warm, almost too warm. And it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. Checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths, a long counter with spinning stools, even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't worked in decades. And the people, they all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet. Like they weren't expecting me. Like I had walked into the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. A waitress tall with a beehive hairdo and a light blue uniform smiled and waved me over. You get caught in the rain, sweetheart, she said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. Yeah, the highway's a mess. She chuckled and patted my shoulder. Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers. I sat down at a corner booth and the vinyl creaked, and I remember hearing the jukebox shifted songs, started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. Thank you, Mr. Blast. Thank you, Mace. I looked around and everyone looked normal. Sort of. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard drinking coffee by the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea like she was lost in thought. But they all had the same look in their eye, like they were there but also somewhere else. Like they were watching me out of the corner of their eyes even when they were looking down. The waitress came back with coffee, strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered a grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." And that was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took out my phone to check the map. No signal, and I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with a spinning wheel. I glanced out the foggy window, and the storm was still going. But now the wind had picked up, and I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. But the diner stayed perfectly lit, not even a flicker. The food came fast, too fast, like under 5 minutes. But it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite. Delicious. Thank you, Mr. Blessed. Thank you, Siren. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners, greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks, but this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. He walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." That's all he said. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile and walked over, collecting his empty mug. Old Earl, he's always saying weird stuff, just ignore him. But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me. Not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. Good night, Beefy. I checked the clock over the register. It was 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab my check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. But when I stood up, the lights flickered just once and then again. And then everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze mid-sentence. The woman with the tea stopped stirring, her spoon hanging in midair. The waitress, her hand reached out for a mug, just stopped, like someone hit pause on the entire scene. I took a step back and the jukebox buzzed, glitched, and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. Not music and not a storm. It was a voice. Not coming from anyone I could see. Just a whisper that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. I backed toward the door, my heart hammering in my chest, and I turned the knob. Locked. Of course it was locked. I tried the windows, but they were sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting, but no one was outside. Just the wind and the rain and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE. I turned back toward the dining room, and everyone was gone. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty. No plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there. Except for my plate, still warm and still half-eaten. And then I saw the waitress. She was standing by the kitchen doors, her silhouette backlit by flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty and black and endless. Like someone had painted over them. "You shouldn't be here, honey," she said in that same cheerful voice. "Not yet." I stumbled back, knocking over a chair as she took one slow step toward me. The others, they were waiting, but you just wandered in. She raised a hand and the walls began to shimmer. Literally shimmer. Like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled and the red booths started to fade. Becoming outlines and then shadows and then nothing. And then I saw it. Underneath the illusion. It was charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot. Like the diner burned down long ago. I ran. I don't even remember how I got out. 1 second, I was inside, and the next, I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. Like heat waves. My car was still there, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. You're right, Lonnie, probably. No neon sign, no glowing windows, just nothing. I drove back to campus that night in silence. No music, no Porch Lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rear view mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. I didn't tell anyone. Not for weeks. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site. And I found it. Burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight and everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. The photo in the article? The same checkerboard floor, the same red booths, and the same neon sign. SYCAMORE. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. And every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little. Because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. Thank you, Whitney. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn, that was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. I didn't even pay for it. And that's the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Thank you, Porch Pals. I love you guys so much. Oh, hi, Tommy. Good night. I didn't even see you in here. Yes. I know they really do, Mace. They go by so quickly. In the blink of an eye. I love you guys. Happy Sunday. And I hope you guys get some rest. And if you aren't able to fall asleep, check out my bedtime stories playlist. Yes, Seek. That's what we always crave, grilled cheese after that story. Also, don't forget tomorrow. Oh, thanks, Tommy. Don't forget tomorrow, the new story premieres at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on my YT channel. Feel free to join us over there. And if not, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Nice to see you too, John. And if not, I'll see you guys again tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget, stay spooky.